disclaimers. One is I'm a little bit under the weather, which means I often say inappropriate things, so I hope that doesn't happen too much. The other is that I made a really lovely presentation, but in a little I'm a Mac, I'm a PC dilemma, it's not working tonight. So that means that you're just going to have to watch me, and I am not sure if what I'm prepared to say will make sense without visuals, but we'll see what happens. So we've had a world first this week. We've had the Oscars, and for the first time ever, the Best Actor of last year presented the award wearing a suit that he had said was that he wore last year to the Oscars, and the Best Actress collected her prize wearing a dress that was ethically sourced. And this is down to Olivia Firth and the Green Carpet Challenge. So what I want to talk to you about this week is my green wardrobe challenge. Ever since I was a baby, I apparently was choosing what I wore before I could speak through pointing and crying. And I think kind of how I dress and that kind of expression has always been really important to me. I was as a teenager and through university, just loved shopping. You're missing out on baby photos now, which probably makes this make more sense. I was always really passionate about independent design. In fact, I was one of ASOS's first customers when it launched in 2000, because you could get really cool independent design that you couldn't get in Derby from ASOS. And so I was really interested in having a style that was independent, that supported different designers, basically also to wear things that no one else would be wearing because they weren't bought from the high street. So it's kind of ironic that now I actually spend my time telling everyone exactly what I'm wearing and where to get it from, because I believe that actually if we share all of the knowledge that we have about sustainable designers, that we can support them and grow the demand for sustainable fashion. I would never have admitted to being a shopping addict, but when I look back at my time at school and university, I definitely quite often used to go out on those shopping sprees and then come back and hide the clothes in my wardrobe before my housemates could see, so that they didn't have to go, oh, you've bought more clothes again. And the fact that I was hiding it obviously means that it was an issue. When I studied politics, and in 2006 I had a weird accident where I got run over by a truck, and it made me want to do something creative, so I set up a jewellery label. And I did it in the most ethical and sustainable way possible. There weren't kind of resources or things that you could Google, colleges that you could go and talk to at that time. You just had to go and find a supply chain that made sense to you. And that's what I did. But after a couple of years of doing that, the politics graduate in me kicked in, and I just got really interested with the bigger picture of ethical and sustainable fashion and what we could do. So I started working in 2008 for the Refashion Awards, which was the first ever ethical fashion award ceremony, and then for the Ethical Fashion Forum. And then for the last couple of years I've been kind of freelancing, doing various bits of consulting and writing around ethical fashion. In 2009, I basically decided that I only wanted to shop and wear ethical designers, which was a massive challenge because there weren't that many at the time. I could name all of them at the time, and it also meant that I had to kind of limit how much I could buy and like put things together in a different way, and it took away that kind of, you know, when you're just on the way to the train station and then you find yourself in a shop and you buy loads of things, and it just kind of made it all like really conscious. And I kind of realised that clothes are the most amazing communication tool. When somebody says to you, oh, you look nice, they're basically giving you an opportunity to give them a lecture about sustainability, which last year I was a spokesperson for the Yes to AV campaign, sorry about that, and I was in the green room before an event, and Martin Bell turned around to me, and I was wearing it was a dress made by Junkie Styling, which is an upcycled pair of men's trousers that had been given to charity, and he turned around to me and was like, young lady, you're wearing a pair of men's trousers. And lo and behold, Eddie Izzard, Chris Akabusi, Greg Dyke all got this massive lecture in what upcycling meant, which left them kind of baffled as we all went out on stage. And so I kind of always see it as an opportunity that when someone kind of says that they like something, that you can basically tell them something about it, and that connection Alex was talking to kind of what you wear. And I also wanted to make the point that ethical could be desirable, and that there is a place where ethics and aesthetics meets. So over the last couple of years, I have basically become obsessed with what I'm calling the politics of dressing in a throwaway world. And I started blogging everything that I buy, and I also set myself a limit of 20 items a year, which has been really challenging, but actually really cool, because then you kind of really think through a lot of Matilda's questions whenever you come to buy anything. And so at the end of 2010, I did a blog post of everything that I bought that year, and I wrote some New Year's resolutions, basically kind of sharing the things that I picked up from what I've done over the last sort of 5-6 years, so that you guys could take some of it into your own shopping and wardrobe habits. And I did it again last year. This year I've decided that it's 40 things, because I've decided that my wardrobe needs, well, I'm a bit older now, and there's quite a lot of stuff in there that I wouldn't wear anymore, so it kind of needs updating. But the point is that you set the rules yourself, so I created this thing called the 12 Rules to Dress By, which some of you have got. And on one side it's these rules, and I know the fact that they're called rules makes it really, you just not want to do them. But if you can kind of use one or two, and then on the other side of that, I basically put a wardrobe shopping checklist, so you can kind of actually sort of take note of what you're buying and what does enter your wardrobe, because I guarantee that you probably shop when you're not even realising it. And the rules are available online, and they've been translated into loads of different languages, from Gujarati to Japanese to German to Turkish, so that the idea is that, as a global community, we all need to start paying more attention to what we wear. It's kind of strange for me that I basically ended up talking about what I wear on a daily basis, because I actually thought that by this point in my life I could be writing essays and articles about human rights abuses rather than being like, hey, look at this dress. But the reason is that there's just so much power in the fashion industry. It employs a sixth of the global population, and there's just this massive, massive opportunity to create amazing change through what you wear. Another thing that I'm doing now is there's a site called Nuji, which is kind of shopping site where you can share things from around the internet that you want to buy. And so what I've done is I've set up a profile on there where I basically sort of selected all of the ethical fashion products that are available online from all over the world that I like, and then you can kind of share them and like them as well. And I'm hoping that we can kind of encourage sort of a sharing and discovering these new brands, because often they're sort of local and bespoke, and they're not readily available to everyone. And so my question is, what are you wearing today, and why did you put it on this morning?